Although this game isn't native for Mac, we found 4 working alternative solutions: Boosteroid, GeForce Now, Xbox Cloud Gaming, and Crossover. If you don't know anything about these methods, we'll help you in a sec, but if you know what you want to use, look at the timestamps and jump to the segment you want. If there's something specific for this game, it's probably already in our instructions, but if it's not, we'll update it in a comment and mark the timestamp. Oblivion Remastered is a rather heavy game with demanding visuals and performance needs, so settings and hardware do matter if you are trying to run it locally. Running it through Crossover is possible, but performance is an issue on anything below M1 Pro chips. Plus, you can only get a 12-month subscription or lifetime license for Crossover, neither of which is exactly cheap. Don't get me wrong, it's still a valid option, just not for everyone. For most players, I recommend cloud gaming, which is much quicker and easier, and you don't have to worry about hardware limitations. Here you can choose between Boosteroid, GeForce Now, and Xbox Cloud Gaming. All 3 are solid options, but I'll talk a bit about their differences at the end of the video. Now, before I dive into setup instructions, remember, you must already own Oblivion Remastered to play it with any of these methods except Xbox Cloud Gaming, where you get the game as a part of your subscription. If you don't already own the Oblivion Remastered, you can get it directly from Steam, but I recommend checking some of the deals included in the video description. I'll first start with the most straightforward option, Boosteroid. It's a cloud gaming service, so all you need to do is follow the link in the description, register on the Boosteroid site, and start your subscription. Then simply find the game and launch it. That's all. The way to set up GeForce Now is exactly the same. You just register, choose a preferred plan, and launch the game either in the in-browser version of the cloud service or through its macOS app. And for the xCloud option, you must be subscribed to the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate plan, which gives you access to both the cloud platform and a bunch of games, including Oblivion Remastered. Just remember that you need a controller to play games in the xCloud. There's no keyboard and mouse support yet. Those were the cloud gaming options. So now let's move on to Crossover, the only viable way to play Oblivion Remastered locally on your Mac. For Crossover, follow the respective link below, register, and either purchase the app or go for its 14-day free trial, which is what I recommend. After Crossover downloads, launch it, install the app, and create a new bottle from the bottle menu. Then go to Install, find Steam, and install it in the new bottle. Steam will start automatically, so close it, enable D3D Metal and eSync, and then start Steam again. All that's left to do now is find the game in your library, install it, and click play. Now, what about other potential methods that may help? I did try a couple more, Whiskey, Bootcamp, and Shadow PC, but each of them had some type of downside that was a deal breaker to me. Bootcamp is almost unusable for games like Oblivion Remastered because it only works on Intel Macs, and the majority of those simply lack the hardware to run such demanding games. Whiskey, a free but jankier version of Crossover, proved too much of a hassle. No matter what I tried, I couldn't get the game to run normally, and considering the app is no longer supported by its dev, I doubt these issues will be fixed. Finally, Shadow PC is basically a high-tier cloud service. It does get the job done, but it's pricier than other cloud alternatives while not giving you a notably better gaming experience. In other words, you'd be better off choosing any of the other cloud solutions I mentioned before. Now let's talk about how I actually played Oblivion Remastered on my Mac. First up, cloud gaming. As expected, Boosteroid did a solid job of streaming Oblivion Remastered. First, I tried it with Ethernet connection and there was virtually no noticeable lag. Then I switched to a 50 megabits per second Wi-Fi connection, which gave me a slight delay but was still perfectly acceptable, especially for an RPG such as Oblivion. Needless to say, I played with maxed out settings both times. GeForce Now also held up great. It gave me pretty much the same performance and image quality as with Boosteroid. It does technically require a bit faster internet, but the difference is negligible, so anything above 30 megabits per second should work just fine for 1080p streams. Worth mentioning, both Boosteroid and GeForce Now give me the option to stream with 4K, which worked great with cable internet, but led to lag and resolution dips when using weaker Wi-Fi. xCloud also did a decent job. It's actually the service with the lowest internet requirements. However, you do need a controller to get the best experience. There's technically a browser extension that lets you use your keyboard and mouse, but it's janky and I don't recommend it. As for Crossover, I got Oblivion Remastered running on my M1 Max with 16 gigs of memory and it held up reasonably well. While indoors, I was getting around 45 FPS at double retina resolution with some dips to the high teens during heavier scenes. Once I got outside, my frame rate dropped down to between 20 and 30 FPS on average. GPU usage stayed pretty reasonable, never going full throttle, and memory use hovered around 12.5 gigabytes with about 6.8 gigs on the GPU side. Admittedly, not great performance on the M1 Max, but still definitely playable, especially on lower resolution and settings. And on more powerful Apple Silicon chips, such as the M3 or M4 Max, you can get as high as 90 FPS on high setting. Ultimately, I'd say cloud solutions are optimal in most cases for a demanding title such as Oblivion Remastered. If you do own a high-end Mac, crossover is also a decent option, but I still struggle to recommend it considering the many advantages cloud gaming has over crossover for this particular game. So those were the methods that worked for us. Did you already try any of them? Do you know any other workarounds? Let us know in the comments below. And lastly, before I end this video, let me tell you about 2 other titles Oblivion fans will enjoy that are also easily playable on Mac.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
First up, Skyrim. Yeah, I know, obvious pick, but it still holds up, especially when modded, and it totally scratches that open world fantasy itch. Also, since it's an older title, there are plenty of ways to run it on Mac. Just check the link in the description to our comprehensive guide. And then there's Avowed, which just came out, and it's like a spiritual cousin to both Oblivion and Skyrim. It has the same deep lore, first-person combat, and spell-slinging chaos, so if you like epic quests and weird side characters, it should be right up your alley. So that's it for today's video. For more content on Mac gaming, be sure to check our channel. Till next time.